Arr. We like to build decks themed around salty old pirates vacation in the Caribbean, eh? Well, you come to the right place, me hearty.
Dead men tell no tales.
Greetings and salutations, all you dreadlords, dreadladies, and dread NBs on the seven seas. First mate DM Inverse here.
Ahoy!
To talk about Hearthstone's new expansion, Perils in Paradise. This expansion is filled with cards themed around pirates and resorts. I'm not sure exactly why.
Blimey!
And also food and drinks. Speaking of drinks, today I've got a local brew, Mo Honey Mo Kolsch. I don't know why I was holding it like that. It's pretty good. It's a little sweeter than I'd prefer, but you know, not bad. So if you want to be able to get all the cards of this expansion, the ways to do that are going to be following the refreshed rewards track for this expansion. Some of the XP reward levels will give you card packs that you can open up to get cards from the expansion. Others will give you specific cards from the expansion, and others still will give you random cards from the expansion, some of which you need in order to do the thing. And you can score reward XP points just by playing the game, but you can also get there a little bit faster by doing the achievements. Click on gameplay, and then that'll show you all the achievements that you can do in this expansion. Now these achievements basically fall under 4 different categories. Number 1, do a thing some number of times. Pretty easy. Number 2, doing a thing worth some amount. So for example, it could be create some mana value worth of cards. Number 3 is similar, but it's going to be do an amount of damage. And lastly, number 4 is going to be do a thing, but make it be a really big thing, and it could be like a certain number of things involved in it. So let's run through those groups and see what we have. I gotta put my glasses on because I'm getting old. And you might notice I got a shave and a haircut, and that's largely because I also got laid off last week, sadly. So, which leads me to my next step. I don't usually ask for things, but I would really appreciate it if you could like this video and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. It would mean a lot to me in these difficult times.
Thanks, matey.
So the first one for doing a thing some number of times, we've got Who's in Charge? Demon Hunter, summon 250 pirates with charge.
Avast!
So summon a pirate with charge and do it 250 times. Not too difficult, right? Just 250 is a pretty big number in case you haven't noticed. So level 1 of this gets you 300 points for summoning 250. Level 2, summon 500, you get 400 points. And I gotta say, I'm really excited that there's so many pirate-themed cards in this new expansion. Because I might like pirates a little bit, you know, just a little. Just a little bit. So what cards can we use to make this happen? Go in here and search for pirate. So in the Demon Hunter group, we've got this new Sigil of Skydiving, which summons pirates with charge at the beginning of your next turn. We've also got Dangerous Cliffside, that'll summon 2 pirates with charge when you click on it, and if you attack with your hero, it reopens it, which is another new feature of this expansion, reopenable locations. If we hit the crafting button here, we can see what else is available that I haven't gotten yet. Patches the Pilot! Finally, a Patches that you want in your starting hand. That'll shuffle 6 parachuting pirates into your deck, a 1/1 pirate with charge. What else is there? Under Common, oh that's Shaman, Common Shaman. So under Shaman, there's the good old South Sea Deckhand. So if you have a weapon equipped, which fortunately Demon Hunters have a lot of weapons, This one gets charge. There's also this new one, Dread Deserter, that's a 6 cost 6/6. Has charge if it didn't start in your deck. Now this is interesting because you're going to want to discover this card to get it into your deck. And the Bloodsail Recruiter lets you discover a pirate, so that's a good way to get them. You can also use it to get the South Sea Deckhand. And Patches the Pilot, because he's a pirate. He's a legendary demon pirate. So any card that'll let you discover a legendary, such as Paparazzi, will come in handy for discovering that. Overplanner is also useful for doing these achievements, because it gets you the cards that you need quicker. Blind Box, if you play it as an outcast, will help you discover a demon, so you can find Patches that way.
Demons? Demons.
Arana is also useful, just to keep your hero from getting damaged when you make attacks. And Arana is also an example of the new tourist mechanic, where the card comes from a different class and lets you incorporate cards from that class into your deck. Next, we have Shielded from the Light. Play 50 sunscreens. This is a paladin achievement. Doing level 1, where you play 50 of them, gets you 300 points, and doing 100 of them gets you 400 points. So how do we get sunscreen cards? Well, you might notice that there aren't any actual cards called sunscreen in the collection that you can add to your deck. If we search for sunscreen, you can see it in the descriptions of Life-Saving Aura and Volley Maul. So Life-Saving Aura, that's an aura that'll activate, lasts for 3 turns. At the end of each turn, you get a 1-cost sunscreen card that gives +1/+2 to a minion. And then you have the Volley Maul weapon. Every time you attack, you'll get a sunscreen that you can then cast. The Trinket Artist, where Battlecry will give you a Divine Shield minion and an aura. That'll get the aura into your hand. And Cardboard Golem, that'll increase the duration of your aura so that you can get an extra sunscreen card out of it. If you want to get the Volley Maul into your hand faster, you can play Instrument Tech, and the battle cry on that is to draw a weapon. And as a rogue, there's Loot Get. Play 8 unique pieces of loot from Treasure Hunter Eudora, and get 300 points, and then the more difficult one, play 16 of them, and get 400 points. So who is Treasure Hunter Eudora? Well, she's a pirate, and you go on a side quest where you play 3 cards from other classes to complete the side quest, and then you'll get one of these nice little related treasure cards. You play enough of those treasure cards, and then that will activate the achievement. As with getting Patches the Pirate, getting Treasure Hunter Eudora is going to be a matter of playing a card that lets you discover a legendary, or playing a card that lets you discover a pirate, or playing a card that lets you discover a card from your deck. Then the Shaman achievement, a Naga of Many Talents. Play Caress Cabaret Star in 5 different forms, get 300 XP. Then the harder mode, play 10 different forms, get 400 XP. So the trick with Caress is that while you're holding her in your hand, play spells from 2 different schools to transform into one of these different versions. And then you've got to transform into enough different versions to complete the achievement. Then the Warlock Irredemption Arc, play 50 cards created by Announce Darkness, get 300 reward points. But then if you play 100 cards, you get 400 points. Announce Darkness is an epic rarity spell that replaces your hero power and non-warlock cards with warlock ones. They cost 1 less, so you're going to be playing those cards. And this is a shadow spell, so things that can give you shadow spells will help out here. If you already have it in your deck, Sketch Artist will help you draw it. Scarab Keychain will let you discover a 2-cost card. Card Grader will let you discover a card from your deck. Volpera Scoundrel will let you discover a spell. As will Mechanome Guide, and that'll also make it cost less if you forge it. As will Ghost Rider, and if you play it as a finale, it'll let you discover another spell. And Resort Valet lets you discover any card from the newest expansion. Then in the neutral category, we have Cheers! Play 100 drink spells. And for those 100 drink spells, you get 300 reward points. If you play 200, you get 300 reward points. And if you play 300, you get 800 reward XP. So 6 of the classes have their own drink cards. Mage has Seabreeze Chalice, Paladin has Divine Brew, Priest has Nightshade Tea. Shaman has Malted Magma. Warlock has Health Drink. The Warrior has the Cup o' Muscle. Rah. Then there's this drink server whose death rattle is to give you a random drink. And the Life Drinker minion has drink in the name, but doesn't actually have anything to do with drink spells. Sorry. It's free real estate. This one's a neutral. Reopen a location on the same turn you played it. Do that 50 times, you get 300 reward XP. Do it 100 times, you get 400 XP. So Death Knight has Horizon's Edge. After a friendly minion dies, you can reopen it. Demon Hunter has Dangerous Cliffside. This will help you with the Who's in Charge achievement. Druid has Hiking Trail. Gain armor and it'll reopen. Hunter has Parrot Sanctuary. After you play a Battle Cry minion, it reopens. Mage has Tide Pools. After you cast a spell, it'll reopen, and then you can use it again. Rogue has the Knickknack Shack. If you play the card that you get from it before the turn ends, it'll reopen. And finally, Tropical Treasure Tour. That's a neutral. Win 25 games with a tourist in your starting deck. And the tourist card can be one of those ones like Arana. Do that 25 times, get 300 reward XP. Do it 50 times, you get 300 XP. And if you do it 100 times, you will get 800 reward XP. Then moving on to the deal N damage category, we've got the Death Knight with I Scream, You Scream. First level, deal 80 damage with Corpsicles. Get 300 reward XP. If you go all the way up and deal 160 damage with Corpsicles, you're going to get 400 XP. Corpsicle is a 2-cost Frost card. Deals 3 damage. Spend 3 corpses to return it to your hand at the end of the turn. So you'll be able to get more copies of this the more corpses you have. So cards that help you build up corpses like Body Bagger or Plagued Grain will definitely help you get more copies of the spell, and anything that helps you get a frost spell into your hand or discover a frost spell will help in that regard too. And of course, cards that increase your spell damage will also help you hit that damage number faster. Then there's a Rest and Relaxation. That's a neutral one. Deal 888 damage with Octomasseuse. You'll get 800 reward XP. Now 888 seems like a pretty big number, but it deals octuple damage. So that's really hitting somebody just 111 times. Also, if you boost the attack value on this, buff it, then it's gonna do even more damage. And for doing things N worth of times, we've got Totally Shredding the Gnar. Cast 50 mana worth of spells with Cephalopods effect at 300 XP, but if you do it 100 mana worth, you get 400 reward XP. Is it Gnar or Gunnar? I'm gonna guess it's Gnar. So the next spell you cast is a cast when drawn. So hopefully it's a big spell. Get you more mana add up. And then under doing one big thing, we've got Rejuvenation Nation. It's a druid. Resurrect 15 mana worth of minions with a single hydration station. You get 300 reward XP. You do 25 mana worth of minions with a single hydration station, you will get 400 reward XP. I know these sound kind of like a, do it N worth of times, but the difference there with Cephalopod, the difference was that you can play multiple Cephalopods to add up all those mana. But in this case, you've got to play one single hydration station card and have the mana values of all the minions that you resurrect add up to at least 25, or add up to at least 15 for the lower level one. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult. You've got to make sure that the minions that are dead, the most valuable ones, add up to at least 15. Hydration Station will resurrect your 3 highest cost taunt minions, so as long as those are big minions, you should be okay. They see me rollin'. For the Hunter, destroy 3 minions with a single death roll, you'll get 300 reward XP. You destroy 5 minions with a single death roll card, you're gonna get 400 reward XP for that. So death roll is going to destroy the minion that you target, and then deal damage equal to its attack, randomly split up among all other enemies. So you're going to want to make sure that you use it to destroy a minion that's got a high attack, and that attack will then kill enough enemies. So you have to time it so that the right number of enemies are on the board, and also that one of them has a high enough attack. And for the Priest, there's Fortune Favors the Gold. Play a Fortune that transformed into a legendary card. You'll get 300 reward XP. And if you play one that transformed into the legendary Narain Soothfancy specifically, you get 400 reward XP. That is going to be a much more difficult one to pull off. And I'll leave that one as an exercise to the viewer to figure out exactly how you do it. If you're having trouble figuring it out, leave a comment down below and maybe I'll make another video just to address that one. So this guy adds 2 of these fortune cards to your hand, and they are copies of whatever the top card of your deck happens to be, and that changes every turn. So for the first one, you'll need to play this when there's a legendary minion on top of your deck. The other one's going to be a little bit harder because you need to get Narain Soothfancy back into your deck in order to be able to have him become the top card of your deck. Bacon lettuce triumph! As a warrior, play a 4 minion sandwich. And you'll get 300 reward XP, but if you can pull off a 7 minion sandwich, then you'll get 400 reward XP. You're gonna need the Rye Cleaver, or something that lets you discover a weapon, so that you can get the Rye Cleaver. So when you equip it, you will get a slice of bread, and when you break it and trigger its death rattle, you will get another slice of bread. Those are just cards that sit in your hand, but then when you play it, it'll summon all of the minions that were stuffed in there. And that's all of the achievements that are out so far. There will probably be more during the midway point of the expansion. When the mini deck comes out, they'll probably add more at that point. So each of the achievements that's associated with a class gives you 300 for the lower tier and then 400 for the higher tier. So if you manage to complete all of the achievements that are out so far, you will receive 12,000 reward XP. 12,000. That's enough XP to get you all the way to level 27, almost all the way to level 28. Lots of gold, lots of cards, lots of packs. Alright, so if you're up to the challenge of these achievements,
You are not prepared.
let me know down in the comments how far you got doing your achievements and getting your reward tracks completed. See you next time. Cha 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 cha. I like to watch the lights go. Cha 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 cha. Stop making music and they're still going. It's interesting. I think they just change faster when I speak. I think that's how it works.